So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, that's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over.
I agree with mostly everything that's been said. We know that
the news just broke, and it's sending shockwaves across the internet. Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, a respected orthopedic surgeon and the husband of The View's outspoken co-host Sunny Hostin, has been arrested and named in what officials are calling the largest healthcare fraud case in New York State history.
Sunny Hostin, her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit.
And no, this isn't some run-of-the-mill insurance dispute. We're talking about a case so massive, so intricate, that it's now being prosecuted under the RICO Act, a law originally designed to bring down organized crime networks. Let that sink in. A law once used to dismantle crime families is now being aimed directly at doctors, surgeons, clinics, and legal teams.
The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow.
At the center of this web, Dr. Manny Hostin. The scope is jaw-dropping. According to authorities, over 200 individuals have been implicated, many of them high-ranking professionals in the medical field.
Hostin's attorney, Daniel Twites, denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits.
These aren't people operating out of back alleys or shady offices. These are board-certified professionals, trained in some of the nation's top institutions, now accused of orchestrating a massive operation to siphon money from the insurance system.
The View, just a person, the Sunny Hostin that we all love from one of my favorite shows on The View. And it's always, Tom, what'd you always say? It's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right?
So what exactly is being alleged? According to investigators, Dr. Hostin and his network of medical professionals allegedly targeted vulnerable workers, mainly Uber, Lyft, and taxi drivers, after minor accidents. These workers, often just trying to recover and get back on the road, were allegedly convinced they needed surgery, when in reality, they might not have needed any treatment at all.
So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, that's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over.
Prosecutors claim that patients were misled, pressured, or manipulated into undergoing unnecessary procedures. Imagine walking into a doctor's office, expecting physical therapy, and being told you urgently need invasive surgery. That's the kind of situation described in the charges. These weren't minor treatments either.
So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the kickbacks.
We're talking orthopedic surgeries, joint repairs, and long recoveries. Serious procedures with serious risks, done allegedly not to help the patient, but to inflate insurance bills. Why? Because the more complex and costly the treatment, the bigger the check from the insurance company.
I agree with mostly everything that's been said. We know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And
at the heart of the lawsuit is American Transit Insurance Company, ADCT, a New York-based insurer that primarily serves rideshare and taxi drivers. They claim they were targeted directly by Dr. Hostin's network and scammed out of $459 million through fraudulent claims.
Like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance, and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do. So there are a lot of problems with it.
That's nearly $500 million. And with potential triple damages in civil RICO cases, the total financial hit could easily surpass $1 billion if the courts rule against the defendants.
But the notion that we are in a violent country, this country was built on violence. We're a very violent country.
ADCT alleges this was no accident. They say the whole operation was carefully orchestrated, from the clinics to the legal teams. Doctors allegedly filed fake claims. Clinics pushed questionable treatments. Lawyers helped move the paperwork through the system. All of it, according to the lawsuit, was meant to look legitimate while funneling money out of insurance accounts. But here's where it gets even more complicated. Dr. Hostin's legal team is hitting back hard. They're calling this entire lawsuit a strategic move by the insurance company to cover up its own problems. According to them, ADCT has a history of refusing to pay legitimate claims, lowballing providers, and dodging responsibility. They say the surgeries were real, necessary, and carried out according to standard medical protocols. In their version of the story, Dr. Hostin is not the villain. He's the victim. A trusted surgeon caught in the crossfire of a deeply flawed insurance system trying to claw back losses. But regardless of which side is telling the truth, the damage is already being done. The media storm surrounding this case has been relentless, not just because of the shocking amount of money involved, but because of one name in particular, Sunny Hostin. As a prominent co-host on The View, Sunny has built a public image as a fierce advocate for justice, ethics, and accountability. She's known for speaking her mind, especially when it comes to crime, celebrity misconduct, and holding others to high standards. But now, with her own household at the center of a high-stakes legal scandal, Sunny Hostin has gone completely silent. No statement, no tweet, no on-air mention. And for someone who's never shied away from controversy, that silence is deafening. Critics are calling it a contradiction. How can someone who built a career on calling others out suddenly have nothing to say? That silence hasn't gone unnoticed by fellow public figures either. Joe Rogan recently blasted Sunny Hostin on his podcast, pointing out what he sees as clear hypocrisy. He called her out for years of criticism toward others, while now retreating from her own moment of scrutiny. Whether you agree with him or not, one thing is certain: the court of public opinion is heating up. And that's just the beginning. Legal experts say civil RICO lawsuits are no joke. Unlike criminal cases, civil RICO doesn't require a conviction to move forward. It only needs a pattern of alleged misconduct inside a group. And it gets worse. If the plaintiffs win, the damages are tripled. That means Dr. Hostin and the others could be looking at financial destruction on top of reputational ruin. Let's not forget, this isn't just about one man. Over 200 people are named in this lawsuit. Doctors, surgeons, legal advisors. If even part of the allegations are true, this case could lead to a massive shakeup across the healthcare industry. In the meantime, patients are left reeling. Many of them, rideshare drivers, workers just trying to stay afloat, now face long recoveries, uncertainty about their health, and growing questions about whether they were truly cared for or used as pawns in a system chasing profit. And the biggest question of all, how deep does this go? How many people were involved? And what did Sunny Hostin know? Right now, she's not facing any legal action. But with the spotlight shining bright and the public demanding answers, her reputation is on the line. People are wondering, was she truly in the dark? Or is her silence part of a strategy to protect her image and her career? For Dr. Hostin, the path ahead looks grueling. If the case moves forward, we could be looking at years of legal battles, endless paperwork, courtroom clashes, a full public dissection of his medical career, and even if he wins, the damage may already be done. His name, once associated with surgical excellence, is now tied to one of the biggest legal battles in healthcare history. As for Sunny, the longer she stays silent, the louder the speculation becomes. Will she speak out? Will she stand by her husband? Or will she choose to protect her brand over the truth? We don't have those answers yet. But what we do know is that this scandal is far from over. The legal teams are only getting started, the headlines are only getting louder, and the fallout could reshape everything. So, what do you think? Is this a case of corruption at the highest levels of medicine, or an insurance company playing defense? Should Sunny break her silence or keep her distance? And how will this all end? Let me know your take in the comments. Smash that like button if you made it to the end, and don't forget to subscribe for more real-time updates on the biggest stories blowing up the internet right now, because if this case proves anything, it's that even those who seem untouchable aren't.